Greetings, we'll cover a few details about James Watt and his life in a succinct manner. Here is a short rundown of his early years, education, career, persona, accolades, notable works, patents, legacy, and demise. James Watt, a Scottish mechanical engineer, chemist, and inventor, enhanced Thomas Newcomen's 1712 Newcomen steam engine with his Watt steam engine, which was crucial to the Industrial Revolution's improvements in both his native Great Britain and the rest of the world. Known as James Watt, famous as inventor of steam engine, born January 30, 1736, Greenock, Renfrewshire, Scotland, United Kingdom, died August 25, 1819, Heathfield Hall, Birmingham, England. Father, Agnes Muirhead. Siblings, John Watt. Spouses, Margaret Miller and McGregor. Children, James Watt Jr., Margaret Watt, Janet Watt, Gregory Watt. Education, mechanical engineer, University of Glasgow Bolton and Watt. Discoveries, inventions, steam engine, concept of horsepower. James Watt was the son of James Watt, a shipwright and contractor, with a successful business, and Agnes Muirhead, a well-educated woman, on January 19, 1736 in Greenock, Renfrewshire. John, one of his brothers, passed away at a young age. He was not a healthy child and experienced headaches and toothaches as a young child. His medical condition prevented him from routinely attending school, so his parents primarily taught him at home. His father taught him math and writing, while his mother taught him to read. In his father's workshop, he enjoyed combining various objects to create various models with a little toolbox. He was drawn to the art of making instruments because of this. Due to business failures, his father lost his inheritance during his adolescent years, and his mother passed away. He made the decision to pursue a career, creating mathematical instruments in the interim. He visited Glasgow in 1754, and met Robert Dick there, thanks to a relative of his who worked at Glasgow University. Robert urged him to do an apprenticeship in London, to learn the craft of instrument building. He met John Morgan in 1755, an instrument manufacturer, who agreed to instruct him in the craft for a small fee. His health deteriorated, as a result of the long, continuous hours he spent working in the chilly workplace. Because of his superior skills than John's other apprentices, he was able to finish his tenure, which may have taken up to 7 years, in just 1 year. He returned to Glasgow in 1756, after completing his schooling to launch his own company, creating mathematical instruments, but local craftsmen opposed him, because he was an outsider to them after receiving his training in London. His credentials and training were scorned by them. In 1757, he established a store on the Glasgow University campus, with the aid of his friends, and was named the mathematical instrument maker to the university. He was given responsibility for the brand new astronomy instruments that needed particular care. He studied and fixed scientific apparatus at the university in 1758, where he also made acquaintances with some of the teachers. In addition, he entered into a relationship with businessman John Craig, who assisted him in opening a store in Glasgow, where he sold musical instruments. The most significant turning point in his life occurred in 1763, when a professor alerted him to a Newcomen steam engine that was not operating properly. This stretched his imagination and his understanding of science, so he decided to use his instrument-making expertise to discover a solution. After 2 years of research, in 1765 he came up with a novel modification to the engine to enhance performance, which resulted in the development of the steam engine. It is still regarded as one of history's greatest accomplishments today. Through the years, he improved the operation of the steam engine with his groundbreaking concepts and creative thinking. Together with his visionary and industrialist colleague Matthew Boulton, he also created a copying machine and patents his discoveries. Only one of the 5 children he had with Margaret Miller, his cousin, who he married in 1764, survived past the age of 30. In 1772, his wife passed away during delivery. He remarried in 1777, to Anne McGregor, a dye manufacturer's daughter, from Glasgow. They had 2 kids, both of whom passed away at young years. He visited France and Germany with his second wife, after he retired in 1800. In 1816, he went back to his hometown of Greenock. He looked into the Newcomen engine, from 1763 to 1765 and discovered flaws that needed to be fixed, if it was to function properly. His first and best invention was a separate condenser that was attached to the engine, where steam from the engine would be collected for condensation. It would improve the effectiveness of its operation and stop the loss of latent heat. He formed a company with John Roebuck in 1768, and Roebuck encouraged him to create a steam engine, which he did. The renowned patent for a new invented method of lessening the consumption of steam and fuel in fire engines was issued to Watt the following year. He developed and patented various methods between 1780 and 1790 to enhance the performance of steam engines. This covers the development of the pressure gauge, parallel motion, the double-acting engine, and rotational motion. He was chosen to join the Royal Society of Edinburgh in 1784. He was chosen to join the Rotterdam-based Batavian Society for Experimental Philosophy in 1787. He received an honorary Doctor of Laws degree from the University of Glasgow in 1806. Watt was added to the International System of Units as the power unit in 1960 at the 11th General Conference on Weights and Measures. On his 6 patents, Watt was the lone inventor listed. Patent 913, the separate condenser, is a technique for reducing steam usage in steam engines. The specification was approved on January 5, 1769, enrolled on April 29, 1769, and, by an Act of Parliament in 1775, extended until June 1800. Patent 1244 describes a novel letter copying technique. The specification was enrolled on May 31, 1780, after being accepted on February 14, 1780. Patent number 1306 describes new techniques for creating a continuous rotation of the Sun and planets. The specification was approved on October 25, 1781, and it was registered on February 23, 1782. Patent number 1321, expandable and double-acting steam engines, are new advancements. The specification was approved on March 14 and enrolled on July 4 of the same year. New developments in steam engines, 3-bar motion and steam carriage, are covered by patent number 1432. On April 28, 1782, the specification was approved, and on August 25, 1782, it was enrolled. Patent 1485, newly enhanced techniques for building furnaces. On June 14, 1785, the specification was approved, and on July 9, 1785, enrollment took place. The steam engine was transformed by James Watt's advances into the mechanical workhorse of the Industrial Revolution, according to one source, from a primary mover of marginal efficiency. He once said, according to a quote, he would rather confront a loaded cannon than settle an account or make a contract, proving that he was an inventor rather than a businessman. Every light bulb in the world bears a mark bearing the name of this brilliant innovator. In the age of 83, he passed away at his home, Heathfield Hall, close to Handsworth in Staffordshire, now a suburb of Birmingham. On September 2, he was laid to rest in the Handsworth Cemetery of St. Mary's Church. Since then, the church has grown, and his burial is now located inside.